Okay, so welcome to Addictions. My name is Dr. Spinella. I'm a professor of psychology and behavioral neuroscience at Stockton University. This is a completely online course, so we won't be meeting in person and we won't be meeting synchronously at the same time online. All the materials are on Blackboard and you can access them from there and you can go through them at your own pace. So let me just get started with how you get into the course. Just go into Blackboard, of course, click on the course for addictions. There's 3 sections of it, right? So you could be in 101, 102, or 103. If you look on the left side, you have announcements. Anything I send out to the class, I will generally send it through there. So you'll get it in your email, but you can also come onto Blackboard and check the announcements. You know, like if there's old ones and you delete the email, the announcements will always be there. Second thing is syllabus notes and readings. Go into that in a minute. Take exams, submit your paper. There's only 1 paper for the course, and then to check your grades for each exams and then the final grade. Let me go to syllabus notes and readings. So when you click on that, you get the syllabus. This shows that when you click on that, it's going to open in a separate window as a Google spreadsheet. Okay, so you don't have to download it, but if you want to be able to check it without going online every time, going onto Blackboard, then downloading is the way to go. You would go to download and then download it as a PDF probably, be the easiest way. So you click on that, there's the syllabus, right? Go to File, Download, and PDF. And you could download that to your computer as a PDF file, right? And you could do that as many times as you want. It's not like you can do it once. The course notes, if you click on this, again, it opens a separate window with a Google Drive directory. So these are all PowerPoint presentations. PPTX is a PowerPoint extension. The right way to access this is not to just click on it. Okay, if you just click on it, left click, double click, it's going to open it as a Google slideshow. And that's not going to work. The audio is not going to work. See, with each slide, there's a little speaker symbol over here. And if you click on that, it's me dictating the information on the slides, right? It's not just reading it. I'm talking about it as well. So it'd be like sitting in the class, right? You look at the slide and then you hear me talking about it. But if you click, just double click or left click on this file, you will not get it in the right format. So what you need to do instead for each one is to right click and then go to download. And then download that to your computer, and then you can use PowerPoint to open it up. It'll look correct and you'll be able to hear my dictations, right? If you don't want the dictations, I guess you could just read it that way, but most people seem to like that. And the third thing is there's the course notes, there's the instructions, the course readings, right? So these are all the articles. Good news is there's no book to buy. So this will not cost you anything extra in materials. All of the articles that you need are here. They're in PDF format. You can click on them, you can download them, you can do whatever you want, okay? Some of them are book chapters, some of them are research articles. I'll go over that in a minute. And then there's a paper that I'll talk about in a minute on, you do it on a movie on addiction, or you could pick a book, if you know, a biographical book. And when you click on that here, it gives you a list of all the the movies that I have in here. I've organized them by topic. It's eating addiction, or body image, eating disorder, gambling addiction, money addiction, sex addiction, substance addictions, right? Drugs and alcohol. I try to keep the list up to date. First of all, you're not limited to what's on this list. You can pick any movie about addiction that you want. But if you think of one that's not on here, let me know, because I like to keep the list updated. Okay, so if we go to, let's go to the syllabus. We'll talk about this. In fact, let me download it so we can view it like that. Okay, so My office is F-127, but I'm not going to be on campus a lot this summer. I can meet you on campus if you need to, but we can meet on, Zoom. We could do video call, audio call, text, um, email. I'll give you my text number, right? If there's anything that you need, if you need to get in touch with me, especially if it's a more urgent matter, I would say text me. My number is 609-437-4010. Okay. Or you can email me at this Stockton address. At this Gmail address that I made this only for students, so that your emails won't get lost in the whole Stockton email thing. You can email me my Stockton email address too. That's fine. I'll get it. But this is just for students. And the texting goes directly to me. I'll get back to you hopefully within 24 hours, unless I'm in some kind of extenuating circumstances. And just tell me your name and tell me which section you're in, if you know it's 101, 102, 103. Okay. So the way I organize my course, the way I do with all of them, I divide it into thirds. Okay, so there's not just a midterm and a final, there's 3 exams and they all count equally. So on the syllabus here, this is the first week, right? It says the date, the day, the topic that's covered. This is the course notes. So when you go into the course notes, click on that. Okay, 1A, what is addiction? And that's exactly what it says here, 1A, right? And then the reading is number, period, and then a number, 1.1. So if you go into the readings, 1.1, there's the first reading, okay? And then you can see I've listed the week number. I've color coded it. So everything in yellow here is for exam 1. So this section finishes with exam 1. And then the next day, the 29th, we start with section number 2. For exam number 2, that's the orange section. And then the green section is for exam number 3, right? There is a paper, and here it says it's due on June 13th. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. And then I'll talk about the exams and the grading. So the paper is, you pick a book or a movie. A movie is fine with me, but some people know a book and they like to do it on that. That's fine. You pick a movie or a book and that depicts addictions, some kind of addiction. And your job is to talk about the movie and point out what the signs of that addiction are in that movie. Right. So if someone has a gambling addiction, mention all of the things that will, illustrate that this person has an addiction. So you're basically showing, does this person have an addiction? Why do they have an addiction? How does their addiction exemplified in their behavior, their actions? Okay. You can also do it as looking at people's strengths. This is another way to do it. So it depends on the movie. There may not be a lot about it, but some movies will talk about people in recovery of addiction. So if there's a lot of that, you can talk about what strengths they use. Do they use gratitude? Do they use forgiveness, self-forgiveness? Do they use, altruism, etc.? Okay, there's all a bunch of psychological strengths. There's 2 articles at the bottom of the syllabus, Park and Peterson and Krentzman. Let me just go down here for a second. Right, at the very bottom, Park and Peterson. This article is in that folder with all the other readings. And Krentzman, this is also in that folder with all the readings. Okay, just make sure that that's there. Yeah, so optional for paper, there's character strengths. That's the Park paper. What else? References, yeah, so 5 to 7 pages in length, roughly, okay. I would follow APA, MLA, or Chicago. I like APA because that's what I'm familiar with, but you don't need to do an abstract and all of those other formal things as an APA paper. Just talking about the citations and the references, because it's a review paper, right? You're not going to do an abstract and methods and all that. It's just the whole paper is just going to be a review. I would not use websites as references. That occasionally they can be good, but generally they're not. So I would say 4 to 5 articles is a good guideline for the number of references to use. It depends on the references you get. You may get like a big, good review paper, and you could get everything you need from there, right? But you could also find a couple of little ones. So, you know, you may get an article where you only use one or two little pieces of information. That's fine. You could use that too, right? So this is you know, so let's say a person wanted to do something on OxyContin. Here's not a good review. I mean, not a good reference. This would be, you know, like a web page by some addiction treatment facility. And then here's a good example of a source, right? Journal of Addicted Diseases. This is an online, I mean, this is a scholarly academic journal that you can access online, right? And if you go to Stockton, go to the library, right? Central Summit, this is the central search. So anything you wanted to put in here, we put gambling addiction, right? Boom, you're gonna get a whole bunch of books, videos, articles. When it says available online, you can click on that, access it immediately, right? Another useful thing, let me show you this. Let's say you wanted to play this on gambling addiction, right? You can copy and paste the name into Google Scholar, right? Just the name of the article. And there it is, it comes up. Now, when you click on cite, there it is. It puts it into APA format or MLA or Chicago. You need to check it because sometimes it's not perfectly accurate, but this saves a lot of time of typing things in and copy and paste and whatever. This is very convenient. It's a lot easier to check it for mistakes than it is to type it in or copy and paste it. So that would be for the references section, right? Okay, so exams and grading. There's going to be 3 exams, and they're all going to be multiple choice, right? The material covered is only for that section of the course. So in other words, for exam number 1, we're only covering the course notes and the readings in yellow. For exam number 2, we're only covering it in orange. For exam number 3, only the stuff in green. So exam number 3 is not the entire course. It's just the last third of the course, okay? This is what I do in all my classes. The questions on the exam will cover both the readings and the lecture notes, right? I take about, out of the 50 multiple choice questions, I make about 30 from the notes and about 20 from the readings, right? The readings are not very complicated, and you don't need to go into like microscopic detail, but if you get, you know, one main idea per paragraph, you're in good shape, right? And the exams are open note, open book, so you can access those. The thing is, I would know it as if it were closed book, because you can check your notes and check the readings, but for the number of questions and the amount of time you have, you're not going to be able to check it for every single question, right? So maybe here or there you could check one and have enough time, but to check every question, it's not going to be good. So treat it as if it were closed book, and then when you take it, you'll be in good shape. All exams will be taken online via Blackboard, okay? And that's when it says on the syllabus, right? So for every exam, it's going to open on one day at 9 a.m. and then it's going to close on the second day at 11:59 p.m. So you have basically 2 full days to take the exam, right? Same thing here, exam number 2, exam number 3. I normally don't have these set up for a Friday because technically the college is closed on Friday, but we're doing this online. And secondly, the way the end of the semester, there's a Thursday and then there's a Monday. So that it wouldn't make sense to put the exam from Thursday to Monday night. Okay, so I did it from Thursday morning till Friday night. You could take it whenever you want. You have 90 minutes for each exam, right? 50 questions, 90 minutes. Once you start it, you have to finish it. You cannot exit out of the exam and then go back in. That wouldn't make any sense, right? You could exit the exam and then read everything and then go back in and take it. So if once you start, you have to finish it. Occasionally, one person here or there gets bumped out. Let's say you lose your internet connection. That's okay. Just text me and I'll or email me and I'll set it up for you, and that's not a problem. If you miss an exam, also not that big of a deal. Contact me. right? I don't want to have to chase after people to take their exams. I will, at the end. I don't want to give people zeros for an exam that they missed, but I'll send you an email or something. But better for you to contact me. I'll set it up for whenever you want. That's not that big of a deal. Academic honesty, you take the exam by yourself, right? And the final grade calculation. So there's 3 exams worth 50 points each. There's a paper worth 20 points each. There used to be writing assignments in addition to those, but I got rid of those. 3 exams and a paper is plenty for a summer class. So the total maximum you could get is 170 points. So what you get out of each exam, I add up, and what you get out of the paper, I add that all up, divide it by 170, and that gives you a percentage, right? So for example, if you got these grades, adds up to 148 out of 70, that would be 87.1. That counts as a B plus on the scale. I do tend to curve the exams. So if you get a low grade or what you think is a low grade, don't freak out. Okay, I tend to curve the exams. So I need to wait until everyone's done taking it. So just be patient. Once you take the exam, after the second day, right? The exam starts on a Monday, ends on a Tuesday night. That means Wednesday I can check the exam and I can curve it. I curve it based on the class average. So that will vary according to how the class does. But there's usually some points. And the curve can only help you, it can't hurt you. Also, the lower the score you get, the more the curve helps you. That's just the way the formula works. Okay. So the same formula gets applied to everyone. Everyone gets the same standard. These are the readings, okay? Again, with the numbers. These are the links. If you click on the PDF or on the spreadsheet, if you click on the link, it will open up a window for you. But I did this basically for legal reasons, because technically this is how I'm supposed to give you the articles. You're supposed to link it to Stockton's library website, and then you go and download it from there. That's a pain in the butt, as far as I'm concerned. That's unnecessary. So technically that's the legal way to do it, but I made it easier for you so you don't have to click on every link and then click, download, rename, blah, blah, blah. So instead, I just put it in this folder and we'll pretend that you got it from the links, okay? Because that seems silly to me. And I think that's pretty much it. So when you go to take the exams, they will be here, submit papers here, the grades here. A little bit about me. I'm from northern New Jersey. I grew up in a town called Little Falls, which is about 15 miles west of New York City. I went to Fairleigh Dickinson University, undergraduate. I got a bachelor's in psychology. And then I went to the City University of New York, which is called CUNY, C-U-N-Y. And my campus was actually at Queens College because I went to a neuropsychology program. So I got training in clinical neuropsychology, and also I did research in psychopharmacology. So this is where I got interested in psychoactive drugs in humans and animals. And my research was on pain relief. But now I study addictions and all kinds of drug use in humans. More recently, I've been doing research on psychedelics and psychological benefits of psychedelics. That's a kind of a new area of interest. I also do research in positive psychology, looking at psychological strengths, and I do a lot of research on meditation and mindfulness. I've worked in psychiatric hospitals. I worked in Fair Oaks Hospital, which is, the name has changed, but so I saw a lot of people with psychiatric illnesses and some neurological disorders there. And then I did training at a couple hospitals in New York City, Mount Sinai Medical Center, Hospital for Joint Diseases, which is now part of NYU Medical Center. And then I went to Central New Jersey in Edison. There's the JFK Medical Center and the Center for Head Injuries. So I worked with people there who have all kinds of neurological disorders, brain injuries, addictions, epilepsy was another big one, stroke, dementias, a whole gamut of things. So this is the approach that I take. In this course, I talk about the neurobiology of it, the neuroscience of it. I talk about the behavior, the psychology, talk about the social aspects. So this is, it's a GIS course, so it goes across disciplines. We talk about the philosophical aspects, the ethics of addiction, other aspects of it. Okay, So I hope this is useful to you. I wish we could meet in person, but I know this is how things go, especially in the summer. And like I said, if you need to get in touch with me, my cell number is 609-437-4010. Thank you very much.